Hello! Let's rebuild my deck. But before we get started, this is the video that you want to watch if you are looking for details on the build. If you're looking for an entertaining video that has the same build in it with no details and you get to learn about the history of decks, click right here. Anyway, if you're still here, let's get started. This thing has been falling apart for a while now. When my wife and I first bought this house 15 years ago, there was a handicap ramp here instead of stairs. And I told my wife I'd take care of it and rebuild the set of stairs. I had no clue what I was doing, and that was very obvious because we lived with a set of stairs for 15 years that had 1 inch between the top of the top stair and the top of the deck, and a 2-inch rise on the bottom stair from the ground. It was a total mess, not to mention all these spindles and everything were starting to fall off, so it was time to tear it down and redo it. But I can't afford to buy all new materials for my deck, so I had to do what I always do and count on the hoard of crap that I've been saving. So far, all I've done is tear this deck apart, and I made it a point to not destroy anything because I'm going to reuse as much of this wood as I can. As you can see right here, I am putting this wood through my planer on the bottom side of the wood. This was really easy to clean off by just running it through my planer a few times and then giving it a quick sand. Once I ran all my boards through my planer, I was able to lay them all back out on top of the deck and get a good look at what I had. The boards that broke, I was able to replace with these boards that are behind my barn. I got a full deck from a friend of mine who had gotten rid of it, and the boards were in really good shape, so I was able to flip those over as well, run them through my planer, and replace them here. And right here I am separating two 2x10s with like 500 fucking nails in it. It was a total nightmare, total pain in my ass. I'm going to be using this treated 2x material to make my stairs. I'm also going to be using that treated 2x material to make my spindles, or whatever they're called, the up and down things, you'll see. I went ahead and screwed on all of my boards, and
then it was time to make my stairs.
When you're trying to figure out the rise for each stair, the first thing you're going to want to do is measure from the ground up to the top of the floor of your deck. My measurement was 23.5. The average height for a stair is 7 inches, so we're going to divide 23.5 by 7 to figure out how many risers we will need.
But when we divide 23.5 by 7, we get 3.357. And we can't have 3.357 risers, or we'll end up with one short riser.
Like I was telling you happened to me 15 years ago when I first did these stairs.
So to fix this, we can round down to 3 risers. Then divide 23.5 by 3. When we do this, we get 7.83. This means that each one of our stairs will be 7.83 high. I want the treads of my stairs to be 10 inches. So I'll use my square and set one side at 7.8 and the other side at 10 and mark my board. Then I can slide it down and mark it again with the same measurements. And there you have it, stairs.
Now that means I'm going to have 3 risers, so I cut 2 risers knowing I would screw it onto the deck, and the 3rd riser would be the deck itself. And if that doesn't make sense, go check out the link in the description of Framing by Larry HAUN. I think it's HAUN, H-A-U-N. Watching his videos is how I learned how to cut stairs properly, and he probably describes it way better than I do. Anyway, moving on. I cut this little notch out of the back and screwed this board to the back of that, which I can screw directly to the deck, as you can see right here. Got it all level, and then it was time to put my, what are they called? The things that you step on going up? You know what I mean. After I put those on, I made multiple cuts on these 4x4s, which were the only piece of wood that I had to buy for this project. These 4x4s and 1 box of screws was all I had to buy, which cost me $73 total. I made multiple passes on these 4x4s, then I knocked out everything with this hammer and cleaned it all up with a chisel, and then screwed it right onto the side of my deck right here. These will be on the corners of the deck to help support the railing. After I was done with that, I ran my boards for my balusters, maybe? Is that what it's called? Balusters or spindles? Whatever. I ran this 2x material through my table saw, making balusters, we'll call them. Then I cut these pieces out of some old decking to make this part of the railing right here. And then when I was done with that, it was time to put the railing going down the stairs. To figure out the angle that I needed the railing handle to go down, I just took this scrap piece of wood and then traced my line with this piece of wood laying down the stairs right there. Then I brought it over to my saw, I gave it a quick cut on that line, then I could use that to trace it onto all my 4x4s. While I was doing this, Catboy walked by to give me a little assist. Thank you, Catboy. And then my kids gave me a little assist with the landscaping around the stairs. Once I was done with all the landscaping, gave the whole entire deck a coat of sealer, and just like that, I was done with this deck. I am so happy with the way this thing came out. It only cost me $73 and the deck looks brand new. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great Labor Day, and I will see you in the next one. Later.
Bye, see you again, and have a good dream.